Hi there, I'm Johnny Lieberman.
And I'm Jethro Bovingdon from Motor Trend's Head-to-Head show.
We hope you enjoy this free episode. And if you do, click the link below.
There are thousands of hours of your favorite Motor Trend shows just a click away.
Please enjoy this one. So I know I said it 100 times before, but Jethro, welcome to America.
Yeah, welcome specifically to 1970 America.
That's right, yeah. This is a 1970 Dodge Challenger.
Yeah.
It began life as a 318.
Means nothing to me, but yeah.
Little tiny baby V8. Lana, who owns this car, put in a 440 wedge motor, but that wasn't enough. So her and her husband punched it out to 505 cubic inches. That's 8.3 liters.
Okay, let's see what that feels like.
Do it. So the reason we're driving this car, besides its just overall awesomeness, is I wanted you to just get the total muscle car experience. Nothing but power, perfect in a straight line, can't turn, can't stop, can't have air conditioning for some unknown reason. So we're out here in the desert. We're gonna die.
But it's awesome. It's just a moment in time, isn't it?
Jethro's totally right. This Challenger and cars like it were a moment in time. Gas was cheap, the economy was booming, and the muscle car phenomena seemed unstoppable. Then, in the early 1970s, came the 1-2 punch of the Clean Air Act and the oil crisis, and well, friends, big blocks disappeared and small blocks were strangulated. The party was over. But even during those dark decades, a few enthusiastic engineers kept the flame alive. Then, suddenly, around 10 years ago, that fire was reignited. Muscle cars, pony cars were reborn and more powerful than ever. Horsepower was back, superchargers were back, and burning tires down to the rims was back too. But man, these old cars sure are special.
I have to say, I don't want to get out of this thing. It's just awesome.
No, although, up there in the distance a little bit, there's two things that might make you want to get out of this car.
Okay, let's get there.
Get stop!
Oh yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, those will work.
Love it.
We got the wide body Hellcat, and we got the Camaro ZL1. Which one do you want?
Which's got more power? I'll take the orange one.
Cool. So even though you're legally obligated to watch the royal wedding, you know what to do in this situation, right?
Come on, that was a joint event, UK and America.
Just like us.
So yeah, we have the biggest, baddest muscle cars, pony cars, or whatever you want to call them. We know and love the Chevy Camaro ZL1 already. It's a 650 horsepower monster with sports car handling. And while the Dodge Challenger Hellcat is familiar, this wide-body version promises more grip, traction, and yeah, it looks pretty damn cool too. The point is, they're loud, unapologetic, and ludicrously overstuffed with supercharged V8. And they are fast. Forget those 60s and 70s cars, this is next level. And look, we seem to have found them on a very long, very straight road.
Are you ready? Here we go. In 3,
707 horsepower. That Camaro's getting away from me.
Suck it, Hellcat.
That's not right. Wow,
Okay.
that's got some grunt.
The Hellcat might have 707 horsepower, but it's the blown Camaro that wins this race. Why? Simple. The Chevy's nearly 500 pounds lighter, has much better traction due to a superior chassis, and its 10-speed box has shorter ratios. The wide body runs to 60 miles an hour in 3.9 seconds and through the quarter mile in 11.9 seconds at 125.1 miles per hour. But the Camaro hits those benchmarks in 3.5 seconds and 11.5, although its trap speed is a little lower at just 124 miles an hour. Remember kids, trap speed is largely a function of power. The more you got, the faster you go. In every measurable way, the Camaro ZL1 is the more complete performance car. It stops better, it pulls more lateral G, and around our figure 8, it runs 23 seconds dead. That's supercar territory. Of course, numbers aren't everything, especially for muscle cars, meaning it's time to make some smoke.
Johnny, at this moment in time, I am going to defer to your vast experience and superior judgment when it comes to your pet subject of burnouts.
And Jethro, your deference is warranted. In my vast experience in the land of free tires, I can tell you that there are 3 production vehicles that make the best burnouts. In ascending order, number 3, the 1-year only 2015 Jaguar F-Type R, 550 horsepower, rear-wheel drive.
Jaguar. It's a Jaguar.
Number 2, the Hellcat. Doesn't matter which one, Charger, Challenger, any Hellcat made incredible burnouts. In fact, they were the very best on Earth until the ZL1 Camaro showed up, and it just became the absolute king of turning rubber into smoke.
Yeah, but Johnny, have you tried the new boy, the big fat boy, the wide body with the big Pirellis? This Hellcat looks like it would do awesome burnouts.
Nah, because the tires are only 20 millimeters wider. I mean, what's the diff?
So let me guess, for the burnouts, you'll be driving
The white Camaro. Get in the orange thing. Come on. Yeah.
You asked for it! You got it!
The one-stop shop for car lovers. Motor Trend, the ultimate automotive streaming service.
It's not about miles per gallon, it's about miles per gallon.
Get the entire Motor Trend library, including every episode of Roadkill and Roadkill Garage, Dirt Every Day, Head to Head, Throttle Out, and World's Greatest Drag Race.
Why do we do it? Because we can.
But now, there's a whole new library of car shows available. Watch Bitchin' Rides, catch up on old episodes of Overhauling or American Chopper, and see the latest Diesel Brothers and Wheeler Dealers episodes.
You know what?
There's even live racing and auctions. If you love automotive, there's only one place to stream. Start your free trial today and get Motor Trend on any of your favorite devices.
All right, Death Row, show me what that Hellcat's got. You're gonna burn for 30 seconds. I'm gonna count you down from 3. Ready?
3, 2,
1.
They're going to call it a Taken. What's that all about? It's working. Oh, keep it going. Why is it dying on me? Yeah.
5, 1, done.
Good smoke. Okay, Johnny. Burnouts are your Olympic sport, so we want to see a gold medal performance. In 3, 2, 1. It's not happening for Johnny. That's better. Okay, stop. Oh, that wasn't bad. Hellcat is king of the burnouts. I beat you at your end game, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you know, you put those Pirellis on the ZL1, it might be a different story, but well done, well done.
Okay, thank you, but you know what? Any muscle car, even from the 60s, can do a burnout all day long. It doesn't prove anything. I want to know if these cars have learned some new tricks. These are modern muscle cars. They got to be able to do corners as well.
So let me guess, you'd like to drift them.
Of course I would. You know me too well.
That's why I brought my Formula D hat. Yeah, baby!
Normally, I love doing this stuff, but Johnny has literally brought me to a go-kart track, and I'm in a Hellcat.
Okay, so if you can humor me with a little reality show style confessional, A, I'm not really sure what the start of this course is, but B, I can't really drift, so who cares?
Sliding a car around actually does tell you something. You learn about throttle response, steering response, balance. Burnouts tell you nothing, really.
I'm gonna attempt to do a rolling burnout around the entire track because, well, it's a Camaro and who cares about drifting?
A wide-body Hellcat for extra girth on the narrowest drift track in America.
Burnout! For distance.
So let's see what this monster can do. No problem with the throttle response and the torque.
It's a little slow, so kind of a weird way to move around a track. Gotta use a lot of left foot.
Okay, this is the good corner. The corner is so narrow.
And you know, what's cool is I might actually set the slowest lap ever around this go-kart track. I should make Jethro like jog next to the car.
Gotta go big. It never stops spinning its wheels.
Once Johnny was finished his lap, which was just before sunset, I got a chance to circulate a bit faster. The ZL1 is still huge for our go-kart track, but feels smaller, much stiffer, and has way more grip. Of course, with 650 foot-pounds, drifting is not a problem. But this is a chassis that wants to grip rather than slip, and while it's progressive, it's less forgiving than the Hellcat, which as it turns out is a big, noisy pussycat to control when sideways. On a real track, the Camaro would destroy the Hellcat. In fact, at Big Willow, it was 6 seconds a lap faster. But this isn't a normal track. Hellcat is the burnout king and drifts circles round the Camaro too.
Whatever, come on Jethro, it's time to get serious. You want corners? I'll give you corners. Let's go to one of my favorite roads.
This car sort of represents everything I should hate in that it's like huge, heavy, based on a chassis from like 1942. It's a blunt instrument in so many ways. I just love being in it. It's the feel-good king of cars.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. It looks so good. It goes like hell, literally.
Yeah.
And even though it's not a Camaro in so many ways, it drives well enough. That's what I would say. The chassis isn't too bad.
No.
There's more traction than you think. It turns, it grips. It's not the last word in sophistication.
It's a real muscle car, and Dodge has done this amazing thing. Way too much power and torque, right? It overwhelms the rear wheels, but it doesn't spin around. It never spins around. It turns all that power into smoke, you know?
Smoke and joy.
You wake up, you have to go to work, and like, oh, you gotta get the kids dressed, you gotta like eat half a piece of bread. But then you get into this for like 20 minutes, and you're in the greatest looking, the craziest sounding, the most misfit, like, you know, iconoclastic bad boy there is.
It makes me happy.
If you grew up and you had posters of muscle cars on your wall, this is how they actually should have been from the factory. This has AC seats, everything works. Oh, and it's 50 times faster. It turns great, it stops, it's fun. It's kind of the complete package.
It is. It's the muscle car from your dreams. It's America on wheels.
Yeah, it really is. The good America.
Cars like this need to exist.
Yes.
And it's almost like the American blue-collar Lamborghini. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just about fun and enjoyment and being over the top and extrovert and celebrating how stupid cars can be. That's what it does.
Unstoppable.
It's gonna have to be settled on the racetrack.
What a little beastie! I'm on the floor in a Viper.
Head to Head, every episode now streaming only on the Motor Trend app. Start your free trial to watch on any device.
As a Brit who grew up thinking of American cars from like police car chases and like big things, oversteering with hubcaps falling off. I want my Hellcat to have hubcaps. I want to drive around the corner and be overtaken by my own wheel trim. You should have a button on the dash and you press it and they all just fly off.
What do you really spend most of your time doing? Kind of commuting around? If you're sitting in traffic and you're angry, you can do a little burnout just by touching the gas pedal.
Muscle cars are as much about going slow as they are about going fast.
Yeah.
And nothing goes slow quite like the Hellcat.
Yeah. It seems the wide-body Hellcat has won over our British friend. I don't know why I'm surprised. There's a block of kids on social media that do nothing but throw shade at this car. Too big, too old, too whatever. I guarantee that after 2 minutes of driving a Hellcat, every single hater would be smiling. Now, let's see if the lighter, faster, smaller, better handling Camaro induces the same warm, fuzzy feelings.
Okay, Johnny, I'm going to give you the easiest job in the world. I want you to present a rational argument as to why the ZL1 is a better car than the Hellcat wide body.
It's a quicker car that handles better, that if you really want to set a time or get somewhere quick, it's the better sports car. This is a supercar. This can hang with, you know, Ferraris. This can hang with Lamborghinis. This thing it's incredible. So, rationally speaking, it's a better performance car than the Hellcat.
Yeah, I think in every dynamic way. The steering's better, the suspension's better, the balance is better. It's got the full package. Give me a rational argument as to why this is a better muscle car than a Hellcat wide body.
It doesn't tug at the heartstrings the same way. That Hellcat just really checks some interesting boxes.
Yeah, I said the Hellcat represents everything that I don't like in cars, but somehow I love it. I think it's hilarious. This should be right up my street, and I do like it. It's awesome. I absolutely adore the engine. I love the gearbox. It's so much better. It's almost dual clutch good. And they've done a great job on the chassis. The way this thing's tied down, the way it gets into corners, the traction, the fact that it's got all that torque, but it gets out of turns so well, and it will slide, of course it will, but it's progressive. It just feels hooked up.
As an alternative to like an M4, crushes an M4. This is 68 grand. Most M4s out the door are 75,000. This laughs at them, pees on them, does a burnout on them, lights them on fire, steals their lunch money.
Yeah, I mean, I said to you earlier, try and imagine what an M4 would feel like with 650 foot-pounds of torque. It wouldn't move. The traction control system would just stop the car dead.
Right, it would throw an anchor out.
Or it would just bury itself into the tarmac with the rear tyres. That's what I'm surprised about. It's got traction, and I think the difference between them on this road, if you had this car, you'd make the effort to come up here and enjoy it and drive it and terrorize some Porsches, all that stuff. The Hellcat isn't that. It's just surprisingly good on this road.
That's the thing, right? The Hellcat, you'd have just as much fun just, cruising down the street as you would on Angeles Crest. Doesn't matter where you are. You'd have fun cruising down the street in this. It still can do dump burnouts like we saw. It doesn't really tingle like the Hellcat does in kind of everyday situations.
I'm torn between my purist ideals, but next to a Hellcat, it is a purist car. And it turns and it stops and it slides and it steers and it does all the things I love. And yet, I can't stop thinking about that Hellcat.
The Hellcat's just a bad influence, right? It's gonna pull you in the boys' room, teach you how to roll a joint. You know what I mean? It's a bad car.
I think you were right when you said about the split in the evolutionary line, that the Hellcat embraces what a muscle car was, and then turns it into this incredible reality. And this almost, it doesn't even pay lip service to a muscle car. It's just like, do you know what? A modern muscle car is a hooked up sports car that takes on BMWs and AMGs and all the rest of
it. And Nissan GTRs. I mean, you're going to be as fast up here in this as you would be in a GTR. And this has 100 more horsepower than a GTR.
The torque.
And it does burnout. I'm thinking of what's negative about it is it's not quite as knuckle draggy as the Hellcat, but don't we spend our careers saying we don't want knuckle draggers? We want precise cars that handle well and embarrass things that cost 5 times as much.
Yeah. Can't we just have 2 winners?
We could. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Okay, we could call it an honourable draw. The wide-body Hellcat is the muscle car evolved. Faster, sharper, but not so sharp as to lose that muscle car identity. The Camaro is the muscle car reimagined into a sports car. A sports car that chews up European champs for breakfast. Either is pretty damn desirable, but we do need an outright winner. So let's go back to the beginning.
So, conclusion to this episode, I'm going to say right off the bat, even though this thing has kick-on brights, we cannot cop out and declare the 1970 Challenger the winner. We just can't do it.
I thought of it. That would be quite cool.
I kind of want to, but let's not do that. Let's cool things down here. How do you pick a winner?
It's pretty tough, I have to say, because the Camaro does objectively ticks every box. But I've found myself falling in love with that Hellcat. I shouldn't love it, but every time I get in it, I'm just smiling. It's awesome.
I mean, it sort of is everything that you stand for. It's the opposite of.
It is. I've become more American these last 2 days. No, it's not as tied down, as precise. The Camaro is remarkable in that respect. It really is.
It's a supercar. It's a supercar.
But you know what? I have to bow down to you on this one. You're a true blue American hero to many, many people. I've heard you say that about yourself on Instagram anyway. So, it's your call. Come on.
I mean, this is as tough as it gets, and since we're not copping out and going with this car, just by the smallest margin, Like if the two keys were laying on the ground and I could just go and grab one, you know, it would be the Camaro. It's just that much better. You just can't fault it.
Therefore, the winner of this head-to-head is
The Camaro ZL1. Yeah, baby.
but you are still a little bit less of an American.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It's all that time I'm spending in Wales, eating kidney pie. Like, that'd be pretty American,
That would be pretty American.
you know? Like cheeseburger seat covers or something.
Cheeseburger seat cover.